Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. One question I get a lot is about insurance, and rightly so. Insurance for us, car livers, van dwellers, RVers, is very different than almost everyone else, and so it's a complicated subject. And I have been reluctant to talk about it myself because I am no expert. So recently I've been getting a lot of questions about insurance, and it just happened to occur to me, wait a minute, I know an expert. So Joe and I met over in Leadville here last month, and Joe's a full-timer, so he can answer all of our questions really well. And you're actually going to save and get better insurance if you live in an RV. And a lot of you are out there making the decision, should I be in an RV or make a van conversion? And the answer from the insurance point of view is a real RV is far cheaper in the long run.
In the long run, find a Class B. And of course they're extremely expensive.
Right up front.
Yeah. So
you can buy a good $5,000 or $10,000 van and you can't even hardly touch a Class B.
Yeah. If you're a business like you are, Bob, I'd look into getting some commercial insurance.
That does make sense for me because I do make money from YouTube and from my channels. I do have to report it or the IRS will come and get me. So you're not an adjuster. You don't go out to accidents.
No.
If I get in an accident, an adjuster will come out, and look at the van and say, does an adjuster always come out?
Almost always.
Almost always.
Yeah.
Even on a little fender bender?
I mean, sometimes they'll let the shop do it.
So he comes out, and I get in a pretty good fender bender, and I've got a couple $1,000s worth of damage on the van, and lots, probably more to the other vehicle. He comes out and looks in my van and says, he must be living in here. I mean, he's got a bed. He's got everything he owns in the world in this thing. So now that's going to void my policy, and then they're not going to pay.
It could.
It could. That's a possibility.
It's a possibility. I'm not going to say it will, but it could.
Now, I would then respond, well, no, I'm a business, and I take these trips to make YouTube videos. But most of you can't do that because you're not a business.
Yep.
And
then you're covered for sure.
Then I would be covered, except then they could say, and let's say it's a $50,000 accident. I've hurt someone. It's a $100,000 accident. Then they'll say, okay, well, where do you live? And then I'm out of luck.
Well, actually, you would have liability insurance through your commercial business. So
But I don't have.
No, you don't have it now. But most people have liability on their business, and that's usually $200 a year. On a small business, $250. And then they also have commercial auto. So those two combined act like a home and an auto.
Really?
Yeah.
So that is a real plus. So there's a ways around that, and becoming a business and being commercial maybe is in your advantage if you can open a YouTube channel, go around and make some videos and put them up. You don't
even have to do a YouTube channel. Sell some jewelry or anything.
Anything. eBay.
eBay. Yeah, you're traveling around picking up stuff and selling it on eBay. Lots of people do that.
Right. And that's the reason why you have a bed in your van.
Yeah.
How do I get the cheapest insurance? So it turns out all I can do is live in my van and insure it like a regular van. How do I get the cheapest insurance, and where do I get the cheapest insurance on my van, or if I'm living in a minivan or a car?
It varies in every state, and it varies for every person and their situation, tickets, all that sort of stuff. So my best advice would be to go to an agent who is not what they call captive. Like, he doesn't just work for Prudential, or he doesn't just work for Allstate. He can go out and look at a multitude of different companies, decide which one's going to be best for you, and then come back with that. The captive guys, they have one thing to sell. That's all they can sell, and you get what you get. But with an agent that's not captive, an independent agent, they can go look at other places.
So in this case, you would actually, it's definitely a situation where you can save by going and talking to an expert.
Absolutely.
As long as he can sell to multiple companies.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, none of us are experts in anything, right? Or very few of us. Some of us think we're experts in everything. But
I've known a few of those.
Yeah, me too.
I've been one of those.
But why not go to somebody who does it every day?
Right.
I mean, I love online. I do online all the time, but asking for a little advice, not a bad idea.
No, absolutely. And he's making money, and probably making pretty good money, but it's not from you, it's from the insurance company.
Correct.
So he wants to sell you the cheapest policy he can, so you're happy.
Yeah, so you stay with him.
Right. It just worked out that my last time I happened to go to an insurance agent, and it was just that way. She went through all of them and found me the one I'm sure that was the cheapest.
Yeah.
And I felt
The least expensive.
the least expensive.
Sometimes cheapest isn't best.
No, I'm because it's a 2015 commercial van. It's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm paying, I think, $120 a month, and that seems pretty reasonable to you.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, for a 2015, and I'm carrying full coverage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought probably, and I feel like that's too high.
Not for commercial, no. Commercial's always a little higher. Your liability coverages are usually higher. You get some extra things attached to that, which I don't want to go into. But there's a lot of stuff in a commercial policy that you don't get in an auto policy.
Okay.
So there's reasons it's higher.
Okay. So if you do get a commercial vehicle, well, again, I know a lot of people who went to their insurance company and said, I bought a commercial vehicle, and they said, are you a commercial company? And they wouldn't insure them.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Progressive will, because that's who I'm with.
Yeah.
Indirectly.
No, Progressive is good. You know, I don't want to name companies just because every state's different. Every situation's different. But Progressive has the RV business pretty dialed. They do a good job.
So if you do have an RV and they offer full-timer insurance?
Yes.
So someone who does get into an RV, a Class B, C, A, whatever they're in, a travel trailer, you would definitely recommend they declare that they're full-time.
Absolutely.
That's really to their advantage.
It's critical that you do that.
Right. Let me say that if you are going to live part-time in a van, my personal advice to you is do not tell them. Your advice is to tell them.
Yeah.
And they probably just won't insure you.
You still can probably get, and again, it depends on the company, just a regular auto policy. But you're not going to get anything else.
Okay. I've known several people that called their insurance company thinking they could get insurance on their possessions, and they told them they were living in it, and they were told, this will be your last bill, we will not insure you again. Yeah. I think that's a very distinct possibility.
Yeah, every company is different, and the way they underwrite is different. Some of them are very, very stingy, hoping to keep that margin as wide as possible. Others are more liberal, hoping they get more policies so that they can cover that margin. So every company does their algorithms differently and will make a decision based on what they want, what their appetite is.
Right, okay. Maybe their willingness to take risk, maybe.
Exactly.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Now you work for, tell us who you work for.
I work for Behling Insurance. We're out of Salt Lake, but we cover most of the western states.
Why don't you cover that? Because a lot of people don't understand that each state does its own insurance.
Yeah, and health insurance, all insurances basically are regulated by the state, mostly. The feds do some, but mostly they're regulated by the states. So the states make all these decisions on what they want in insurance for their citizens, and the insurance company has to go to each state and get it approved to be able to work in that state, okay? Well, as an agent, we have to do the same thing. We have a resident state, but we have to go get approved in each state that we work in so that we're licensed to do so. So if you're in Colorado, or you're based in Colorado, you're licensed in Colorado, then you need an insurance agent that is licensed in Colorado. Same with Nevada, Arizona, doesn't matter.
Right. Every state is their laws are all different, and so you have to be licensed in each different state.
Yeah.
And Progressive has to be licensed to sell, I would assume,
in
each state.
Yep.
And I guess some of them don't cover some states.
Some of them don't. A lot of them, don't cover California. Some don't go into Florida because it's too expensive. Their liability is too high. So.
Okay, I see. So wherever you are, you have to go to that state to get an agent and and the insurance company that will do it. And that's why your choice of a state is important, because each state, California and Florida, have high, and it will cost more to register in California and Florida.
Yep.
As a broad rule.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on where you are, and again, it's their algorithms. They make all of these calculations and come up with a number, and I could never tell you how they do it.
No.
But it comes out with a number, and in one state it's this, and in another state, same exact insurance, it's a different number. So that kind of goes into where do you register.
Right, exactly.
And it goes back to some of your videos on. Yeah.
And you, as a full-timer, you have the choice. I can choose South Dakota or Florida, and Florida will be more.
Mm-hmm.
Or California, and everything will be more in California. So California is generally not a choice.
Yeah. So I cover all those states, and I'd be happy to help anybody who really wants it.
So you aren't a licensed agent in all those states, and they call you, they can buy their insurance from you, and you will go through and get them the best possible deal and explain all this to them.
Yes, I will.
So you do have a profit motive in the video.
Of course. But I mean, I do videos like you. I do it because I like to help people.
Right. And we've already decided that you're not making your money on me.
No.
You're not going to get rich because I come in and off of me when I come to you and you became my agent. You're making your money from the company.
Yep.
So you're going to gain from the company, but you're not going to gain from us.
Yeah. I don't like to call myself an insurance agent.
No?
I'm a guy who likes to help people. And that sounds corny, but I believe in karma, and what goes around comes around. If I help enough people, I know it's going to come back. That's all I know.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so tell us, first off, tell us your YouTube channel.
Well, my YouTube channel is Rocking B RV. So Rocking space B space RV. And that's where I do a lot of the vlogging similar to what you do. I really like photography, still photography, so I try to integrate that into my stuff. Our business website is behlinginsurance.com.
And why don't you go ahead and give us do you mind giving out your phone number?
No, it's 801-647-1389. That's my cell phone. That's the easiest one to get me.
Wow, you're giving out your cell phone number?
It's a business cell phone.
Oh, it's a business cell phone. Yeah, I would too. Okay, well then give it out again slowly.
801-647-1389.
And really slowly.
801.
Okay. 801. What was the next?
647.
647. And the next?
1389.
1389. Got it. Okay. I'm slow. People zip through numbers and I go, what?
Yeah, I tend to do that. I apologize.
And so if you have questions,
Even
you'll
if you
answer.
just have questions, I'll answer them.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find it. And if I can't help you, I'll try to direct you to somebody who can. Yep.
Okay, have we covered everything? I think we've done a pretty good job.
I think we're pretty in depth for trying to just cover the basics.
Yeah. And it's going to be a long video, so I'm sorry about that. But this is such an important topic and one that we are so unfamiliar with. Mm-hmm. The average person is just very unfamiliar with all of these things. Yeah. It's really new to us. So, Joe, I just really thank you so much for taking your time
My pleasure.
to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you got something out of this. I know I did. I study this stuff and try and understand as much of it as I can. And I learned things here I did not know and had things wrong. So thanks so much, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So everyone, I hope you got something out of this, that you like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And in the meantime, don't be timid. Take a risk, leap out there, and leap out there with the most knowledge and information you can. And that's what we're all about here. And give Joe a call. I bet he can save you some money today. If not, you'll at least be comfortable knowing I've got the best deal I can. Mm-hmm. And why not know that for sure? And maybe, who knows? There's so many ins and outs on insurance that I think you'd all be better off if you do. Give Joe a call. Tell us your phone number one more time.
801-647-1389.
Okay, there you go. So we'll talk to you later.